Okay, I'll start with the last question because part of the medical Qigong, which I was most grateful for, actually taught me methods to protect myself.
Okay.
The movements and practices I do, such as the standing meditation, like I talked about earlier, are very powerful to really open up the flow of energy in the body and help. There's other exercises actually that help build the energetic wall around me and to cleanse afterwards. So in terms of when somebody mentions meat, for example, does that automatically desensitize it? No. Although what I do when I work with people, I tell them, I ask them to observe their breathing and just notice what's going on. Because to me, their observation is like a flashlight. So if I'm talking about cherries and somebody's breath tightens up, I will feel that. And that's like a red flag that, oh, ding, 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 ding. Or when I'm intuiting and I'm getting 3 years old and their breath tightens up. I didn't say anything. I just thought it. I know that I'm on target with something very important. And then I look at what is their pattern. Everyone has different patterns. And so from there, I will look to release this pattern. Once the pattern's released, suddenly it's like, wow, I feel so much better. It doesn't mean they don't have a zillion other things going on in life that are affecting them, but it's like, there's a concept in trauma work. I don't know how widespread this is in the field, but where, let's say you have a cup of water, and the bottom is an empty cup rather. The bottom is filled with just normal stuff, challenges we have in life. And then we have stresses on top of that. Now, if we have a major trauma come along, or a series of them, I'm going to put it under stress, but suddenly this stress will be bubbling over, pouring over. This is the stuff that affects people's life. It's not, as long as the glass is within bounds, it's okay. So basically, I have two approaches to healing. One is teaching them to manage these energies and loosen them on their own. That's the Qigong movements and things like that. And so, we're looking to bring this level of stress and maybe release some of these traumas that way, bring it down. Someone who really works hard at it could actually do a lot of their own self-healing. 60, 70, maybe 80%, if not more. If you're exceptionally good, maybe you can get 90, 95. We do need other healers to help us at times. That's my true belief based on my experience and what I've seen. Now, that's where someone like myself comes in, is to help with teaching people how to do a lot of their own healing, supporting them when those moments come where heavy lifting needs to happen, or some like me to do a lot of the light stuff too. I mean, I'm a business person. I help people according to where they want to be helped. And the other thing I've been working on is a program that I tried to put out last year, but my marketing fell apart, was Feel Good All Day, Every Day, where I basically put all the things I do together in one as a package, which I was offering over the internet, which includes everything from the educational component, Qigong lessons multiple times a week, classes on how to deal with sensitivities and reactions, classes around trauma and how to support and release people as they, to help them release trauma. And then there was a component where I was going to actually do tuning in every day for maybe 15 to 90 minutes a day. And, if I saw stuff that was coming at them from environmental or whatever, release that kind of stuff, or support the trauma work. A very intensive program, but the idea being with 150 people in it, I can make it exceptionally affordable. So anyway, this is the nature of my work. This is what I do, how I've approached it. I'm actually thinking of starting up some local classes again with different aspects of what I do. Just trying to figure out the logistics. I've worked with clients who like long sessions. It used to be most of my clients would come to town, find my cards on the racks around town, call me for a first session, and explain to them that I have a 1 hour minimum and you control the clock afterwards as long as we both have time. 3 to 4 hour sessions was normal for me. I've done 4.5 hour sessions. It's pretty intense. I've heard people who I do complex.
No, I just do long sessions.
Who have done complex PTSD type issues with, where they'd call me 2-3 times a week and we'd be doing them.
Wow.
I'd ask them at the end of the sessions, after the whole process was done, so tell me, how do you feel we accomplish most of what you want to accomplish? And one person would say like 90% of it. That was before I was doing the allergy code desensitization to the extreme and teaching people, oh God, I forgot the most important piece. A critical component of my sensitivity work is teaching people how to navigate their world so that they could avoid the things that are triggering them. So you go to a restaurant, you don't know what you're getting, if there's something mixed in there which you might be allergic to, normally. But utilizing an advanced intuitive method I've developed, it's intuition, but taken a little further. I can go and to a party of a buffet of 100 things, or at a restaurant where there's 100 things on the menu, and I may ask a question or two also to support my path, but I can freely go out and eat foods and know before I eat or order something if it'll trigger me or not. So I know not to order it. So I teach that as part of what I do. It's part of my sessions and everything.
So you're kind of helping people become more intuitive.
Yes. Unfortunately, I feel like that's best done as a group because of but I work with people in different ways. I'm asked, I say, what's going on? Because that's something you had at 3 o'clock yesterday. And they're like, looked at me like busted. That was one client's comment. Someone in England. And it's like, yeah, I had whatever it was at work. I was hungry. There's nothing else to eat. And it's like, well, you're paying me now the next day to help you deal with it. So, you have your choice. It's like, so that's what I kind of wanted to teach people is how to navigate and ideally not need my services. There's plenty of people that need it. So if everyone can take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, flatten out the belly. Really blow it out like you're blowing a candle across the room. Now, just observe your natural breathing. What happens? Is it smooth? Where does it get caught up? In the throat, in the upper chests, by the heart. Some of you are up by the nose. Wherever it is, that's okay. But just know that that's where you're getting stuck in life. Think of a hard moment you might have had in the last couple days. Watch your breath. Notice what happens. Take a deep breath and exhale. Notice how it feels throughout the body, that moment when you had that lockup, for those of you who have had it. That's what I'm interested in. That's what I work with, that lockup pattern. Because the whole pattern has to be addressed to heal. The mind ties to it, and the body ties to it. And of course, we could say the spirit too. Notice any emotions that go on. Notice any taste in the back of the mouth. Someone's getting something kind of metallic, but not quite. Just let your body move a little bit. Move around a little bit. Maybe send a figure eight through your body. Just move it from side to side for a minute. Anything that's stuck there that wants to clear out, just send it off to the earth. There you go. Yes. Good. Inhale. Just feel the sound that travels through you. So I'm going to move towards wrapping it up, but before I do, I'm going to just lay out a few stones that'll help support the continued flow of whatever needs to happen through the rest of the session. And at the end, I'll take one quick moment as part of our closing just to re-ground everybody, okay? Notice what you feel. Notice any emotions. And notice any breath issues. Okay, so I'm going to let it go at that and just let that space work for a while. And at this point, if it's okay with everybody, I'll be with you even if the meeting goes on, consciously, energetically connected. Just so you know, if things are going on, I will tune in and just on my own, quietly move it. I don't always have to use hands. I could sit back and just use the mind or other methods. So anyway, let me pass the meeting back to Terry.
Thank you, Warren.